Delta, static versus dynamic.
Oof.
So everybody's talking about, hey, hedging to the downside. I want to, obviously have some protection if the bottom falls out. I mean, people were saying this a little bit more a couple of weeks ago, but they're still saying it today. And so I thought, man, this morning, this is a perfect time to make sure that everyone is clear. Static delta and dynamic delta are not the same thing, especially on the downside. And so that's what I want to talk about here this morning.
Okay. I like it.
All right, let's do it. Paul, cue us up on the intro slide. Okay. So every active trader has to ultimately choose which direction they want to play with their overall portfolio and individual positions. And some short delta is a popular choice for premium sellers as it can offset losses from volatility expansion that often comes from market drops. However, when it comes to short delta, there is a big difference between static short delta and dynamic short delta. So Nick, I'm going to ask you, since you kind of started trading a bit more recently than your father has, when did you realize this? Do you remember when you realized that all delta is not the same when it comes to the static versus dynamic difference?
It was probably early on because it was mostly to the upside that delta was getting very, very big, very, very quickly. But I think most people recently have probably realized that things can get big on pops and volatility, typically going to bigger downside moves. I think people over the last handful of years have realized, oh yeah, the paycheck trade of just selling puts, there's some risk to that. I think that's been a change here.
So let's say that I wanted to build up short delta. Well, there's a number of ways you could do this, but I'm just going to explore 3 different ways, 2 static ways and 1 dynamic way to build up short delta. So number 1, let's just focus on S&P 500. So I want a short position in the S&P 500. There's 3 different ways I could do that according to the context we're going to talk about this morning. Number 1, I could sell 50 shares of SPY. It's clean. It's simple. Like that's one way that I can obviously play the market short if I want to do that. Those delta are going to be static. Now I'll explain what I mean by that here in a minute. Another way that I could do that about the same positional size, I could sell an MES future. That's also going to be about 50 delta. I think it might be slightly more than 50 delta these days, but not very much, like 51 or 53 or something.
Right there.
That's going to be 50 short delta. Or I could sell an at-the-money SPY call. That is also going to be 50 delta, but that delta or those delta are not going to be static. They're going to be dynamic, which of course that means over the life of the position, the delta changes. It does not remain the same. And so keep this in mind. The shares, the futures, that static options are always going to be dynamic. And so I think this is something that really surprises a lot of new traders. What do you guys think as far as this learning is concerned when it comes to new traders kind of figuring all this out?
I think this is a big, is a hard thing to think about until you've experienced it. And what I mean by that is like, you have strangles on or you roll down calls and you're like, okay, well, I reduced my delta and the market goes down again. And that delta really doesn't come into play because you have the pop and volatility. That kind of offsets the directional move that you kind of played for. If you roll down a call and you roll to a 40 delta call, you expect, okay, if the market's down a couple points the next day or more, that is going to hedge you. But the pop and volatility offsets that hedge, and that delta doesn't really change. The value of that option probably doesn't change all that much. It's a hard pill to swallow when you have quote unquote short delta with options, but it doesn't hedge you to the downside because of that change in volatility. It's the same thing too on the flip side of that. Like when the market goes down and we say, the rolling down the call, it's going to help you and it's not going to hurt you into the bounce. That's really where I think it comes into play more, because you get that short delta and then you get that bounce higher and you're like, why am I making money today? I rolled down all my calls. Well, that volatility, it's really that volatility component that I think people misprice and don't totally understand as much, especially when you see it happen to the downside, like we have seen.
That's right.
What do you think, Tony?
No, I'm kind of going to echo the same thing. I mean, this is something I think which is very hard for people to realize. As a matter of fact, this is why I'll take it a different direction here. When you're an experienced trader and you get that email or phone call about concentrated risk, possibly, or something of that nature, and you talk about, hey, they're all out of the money options, and it's like fake delta. It's not really there. You are correct. It is out of the money options, but you have too many units, which can grow, to your point here, where somebody who has the same amount of delta with less units at the money won't get that email because they won't have the same kind of concentrated risk, as their deltas won't grow exponentially as yours will. So it really is a double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally is a double-edged sword, 100%. But man, I'll tell you something. It's almost like we've been working together for like 10 years. It's almost like we're all kind of in agreement when it comes to this, because what Nick is saying in terms of, I've got these short calls on, I get the downside move, but I'm not getting paid. It's not paying off. It's not helping me out. That's exactly what I want to focus on here this morning. So Paul, go ahead and hit us on the next slide. So let's say we get it down moving SPY. So let's say, just for example, SPY goes from 640 to 630, right? So a pretty decent little move, but with VIX at 25, 27, whatever, that's kind of like a daily, that's just a daily deal now. That's not even really that big of a deal. But still, you're trying to prepare for this move. You want to protect your short premium. Okay, let's make sure we understand these three positions are not going to behave the same way. So number one, my short shares in SPY. Okay. On the move from 640 to 630, those deltas are not going to change. Those deltas are not going to be impacted by volatility. Those deltas are static in every sense of the word. So you're going to get quote unquote paid for every dollar that stock drops or that the index goes down. You get paid dollar for dollar. That is the nature of static delta. Okay. The short MES future, same thing. Now, this is a little bit different because of multipliers and tick sizes and such, so you have to make sure you understand that. But still, your deltas are not going to change. They remain the same over the life of the position. They're not dynamic. You're not going to lose them on the way down, nothing like that. But if you've got a short at the money call that's 50 delta, it's 50 delta now, but as that stock starts dropping, those deltas start drying up.
Sure.
Now all of a sudden they're only 40, they're 42, they're 36, whatever, which is not a bad thing, but you're going to look at your P&L and you're going to be scratching your head because you're like, wait a minute, like I was trying to prepare for this very move and I did not get paid because A, the deltas dry up, but also B, as we have here in this green box, which is exactly what Nick said, volatility is probably going to be expanding. And on a move like that, it could be expanding rapidly. Well, when you sell an option, a call or a put, it doesn't matter, you're short Vega. You want volatility to go down. So any volatility expansion is going to be working against you. So the market goes down, you get the move that you were trying to prepare for, but because of the way you kind of set up your hedges, they didn't really pay off the way that you want. So my question to you guys is this: how do we fight against this, so to speak? How do I position myself to take advantage of a down move? Personally, I'm a fan of some static delta. I'm a fan. You don't have to be net short delta if you don't want to, but to have some static short delta positions in there that are going to be able to capture a move one for one, I think it makes a little bit of sense. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you have to have the static delta. You can also do like more dynamic short delta. We trade a lot of like put diagonal spreads, put calendar spreads, even wide butterflies. If you go to like an SPX and do a wide butterfly where it's a position where the delta can grow into downside moves. Those sort of things give you that dynamic delta that you need when volatility is whippy. You know, the short calls help when you've got an 18 VIX, where you're kind of in a normal range of volatility, where markets, move in both directions in a manageable amount. When you're having big moves and big swings in the market, big swings in volatility, you need to have something that has gamma to it or more dynamic delta to add to that position so that you're picking up more, you have stuff that's actually hedging. The short calls that you sell at 50 deltas, that you sell for $5, they have 50 deltas, but the hedge is the premium. There's only so much of that premium that it does not hedge the $10, $15 move in SPY. It just doesn't do that for you. So you have to have those sort of butterflies, static delta, put diagonal, stuff like that if you really want to get some meaningful hedge into a big move. The $5, the inside down move, you can hedge with short calls. You can't hedge the big moves with short calls.
I agree.
And what I love about that
sometimes
is
you have to have directional risk too.
That
I mean,
too.
like,
That's right.
you can be short premium with directional risk.
Yeah.
But what I love about what you said there, Nick, is so you're talking about dynamic delta, but you're talking about dynamic delta where it grows into the move.
Yes.
And so that's exactly. But and that's obviously what is kind of the attractiveness and the appeal of a lot of long options like long calls and long puts. But the problem with those is you just get absolutely rinsed on the theta. And so by selling the premium against it in a diagonal type of fashion or even in a butterfly type of fashion, you're kind of putting a lid on the theta drag that you're going to have to absorb while still allowing for some dynamic delta that's working for you to the downside into the move. I really like that a lot.
Totally.
Yeah. All right, let's get them a few takeaways. As tasty traders, we will inevitably find ourselves carrying a directional bias in the marketplace. And oftentimes we're doing this as part of our overall strategy, such as pairing short delta with short vega. But it's important to remember that not all short delta positions are created equally in terms of how they'll react in response to market movements.